What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to start a series of videos here that's just kind of going to go through my CD collection, and I'm going to share with you one CD from every artist that I own a CD of. There's really no rhyme or reason to which CD I choose to pick out, just kind of whichever one I feel like talking about, I guess, but just kind of a way to go through and talk a little bit about everything that I own and kind of go from there. So I thought this would be kind of fun to do videos of. I thought it'd be fun to do for myself too, just to kind of go through and see what all I got there. So we're going to start with the letter A. So these are all the A bands that I own CDs of. As you can see behind me, I've got one of my Aerosmith vinyls here kind of decorating the shelf. I would say that Aerosmith is my favorite A band. If it's not them, it's probably Alice in Chains, but I don't own any AIC on vinyl. So we got Aerosmith back here on display. So starting alphabetically, the very first A CD that I have is ABBA Gold, the Greatest Hits. This is the only ABBA CD that I do own. I do enjoy some ABBA from time to time, and I do find that the Greatest Hits, specifically this one here, covers pretty much all the ABBA I need. It's got all my favorite songs: Dancing Queen, Knowing Me, Knowing You, Take a Chance on Me, Super Trooper, The Winner Takes It All, Waterloo. So a lot of great stuff here on the ABBA Gold album. Only one I own from ABBA, but this pretty much covers what I find necessary from ABBA. And before we move on, I guess my cat here wants to say hi. This is my new cat, Jordy. We just got him a few weeks ago. My older cat passed away here about a month ago, so we can welcome Jordy to the family now. And yes, he is named after my favorite Star Trek character, so there is that. Next up, we got AC/DC, and I picked out the live album. I'm generally not a big live album person. There are very few live albums that I tend to gravitate towards or go back to a whole lot. This is one of them. I always thought this was a really fun live album. You got Thunderstruck, which is just a great live opener for AC/DC, Shoot to Thrill, Back in Black. So you got classics right off the bat. I do like the version of Heat Seeker better on here. Money Talks. Of course, you got Brian Johnson's versions of Bon Scott classics like The Jack, Dirty Deeds, Whole Lotta Rosie, Highway to Hell, TNT. So good stuff here. I own every AC/DC studio album on CD except for Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, but I do have that one on vinyl, so I just don't have the CD of it. I don't have Who Made Who yet. I used to own that one. I need to get it again. Other than that, though, I don't own any like the '74 Jailbreak or any of the other live albums or anything like that. But that's what my AC/DC collection looks like. So I decided to pick out AC/DC Live. To share, next up we have Accept. This is kind of an odd little collection here. It's got the two albums, I'm a Rebel and Objection Overruled, on the same CD. Why those two albums were put on the same CD, I have no idea. But I got it because I love Objection Overruled. It's my favorite Accept album. Granted, I haven't heard them all yet. There's still a few of the newer ones I haven't heard yet, but so far, Objection Overruled is my favorite, and I definitely wanted to have that on CD some way, somehow. So I will definitely pick these albums up if I ever find them independently, but I thought this was, I wanted to pick this up just because I really, really love Objection Overruled. As far as Accept goes, I also have Balls to the Wall, Metal Heart, Death Row, and Too Mean to Die. So those are my Accept albums in my collection. Next up, we have the great American rock band, Bad Boys from Boston, none other than Aerosmith. I own all the Aerosmith studio albums on CD. I also own the extended version of Greatest Hits. Oh Yeah, Aerosmith Hits, live bootleg. I no longer have the Classic Live 1 or Classic Live 2. I no longer have Little South of Sanity. I'm not like I said, I'm not a big live album person, and as much as I love Aerosmith, I much prefer to listen to them in the studio. None of their live albums to me, except for Live Bootleg, which I do think is kind of fun, um, really jump out to me. But this album right here, Gems, I think is a really nice collection of songs. You don't have a lot of the real big Aerosmith hits. You've got Mama Kin, Train Kept a Rollin', but you got some deeper cuts, some really good deeper cuts, like Rats in the Cellar, Lickin' a Promise, Chip Away the Stone, No Surprise, Adam's Apple, Nobody's Fault, Round and Round, Critical Mass, Lord of the Thighs, Jailbait. So just tons of great sort of deeper cuts from the classic Aerosmith era. So I really always felt this was a real fun collection here. So it's not, maybe not necessarily a greatest hits album, but it's a compilation album that I really, really love. So Aerosmith Gems is the one I decided to pull off the shelf for that. I said that if Aerosmith isn't my favorite A band, Alice in Chains probably is, and I picked out my favorite AIC album, that is Tripod, or the self-titled 1995 album. First time I listened to this album, I thought it was a little weird. I don't know how better to describe it. It was different. But I quickly kind of just got into it. I was able to kind of fall into it, and I can get lost in this album now. Songs like Grind and Brush Away, Sludge Factory, Head Creeps, again, Nothing Song, which is one of my favorite deep cuts. This is just a really heavy, dark, moody Alice in Chains album, and I love it. I think it's every bit as good as Facelift and Dirt, and like I said, it's probably my favorite AIC album. As far as Alice in Chains goes, I have all the studio albums except for Rainier Fog, plus I have the Live Unplugged and Jar of Flies and Sap on CDs. So I got a pretty good collection of Alice in Chains. I just need to pick up Rainier Fog at some point. So Tripod would probably be my favorite album from Alice in Chains. So these next 5 CDs I have, these are all the only CDs I own from these particular bands. Starting with Alter Bridge. This is their first album, One Day Remains. I think it's a decent album. It's probably not my favorite Alter Bridge album. That honor would probably go to either Fortress or maybe Alter Bridge 3. And I like Alter Bridge. I don't know that I love Alter Bridge. Personally, I actually kind of prefer Creed to Alter Bridge, but Alter Bridge still has some really good stuff. Mark Tremonti is a phenomenal guitar player. I've been getting more and more into his solo band Tremonti, which makes me feel like Alter Bridge is actually my least favorite of his kind of 3 main bands that he's in. But that's still saying something, because Alter Bridge has a lot of good stuff here. But if I ever happen to find those other Alter Bridge CDs out there in the wild, I'm definitely going to pick them up. There's a few of them that I haven't heard yet. A lot of the more recent ones I haven't heard. So Alter Bridge. One Day Remains. It's the only Alter Bridge I have in my collection. Same with Anthrax here. The only Anthrax I have is State of Euphoria. Trying to get a little bit more into Anthrax, maybe a little more into some of these other thrash bands, and I guess State of Euphoria is not really one of their best albums. I'm not a real big Anthrax guy, so I picked this one up at Goodwill for $1. So I can't get that into it. It's okay, but it did not grab me at all. If there's another Anthrax album that I should try out, let me know which one it is. But this one here, wasn't horrible, but it didn't really grab my attention that much. Another metal band that I picked up a CD of, trying to get a little bit more into, and that would be Anvil. And I kind of had the same feeling about this album that I did about the Anthrax one. It's good. It just didn't really grab me right off the top. So, maybe in, over time I'll revisit this and maybe get it a little bit more. But as of right now, the first time I listened to it, I liked it. I just didn't get, obsessed with it. So, here's another metal band. And I would say that of these bands that I only own one album of, I think maybe my favorite one so far is Armored Saint. This one, Symbol of Salvation. Songs like Rain of Fire, Dropping Like Flies I like a lot. Tribal Dance is cool. Pretty good album all the way through. My favorite Armored Saint song is Pay Dirt, off of, I think it was the album that came after this. And I can picture the cover in my head, but I can't remember what that album was called. But Pay Dirt is a killer song. There's some other really cool songs on that album there. I also listened to a little bit of their first album on YouTube. So, good band, Armored Saint. Last but not least, here we have Autograph, Sign In Please. Pretty good album. I have a VHS tape full of 80s rock hair metal videos. I got it like 20 years ago, 21, 2 years ago, something like that. Basically because there were Twisted Sister videos on it. But it starts off with a bunch of Autograph videos, including Turn Up the Radio, and then some other songs that aren't on this album. And the songs that weren't on this album, I can't remember off the top of my head what they were called, but they were all pretty good. So I'm kind of interested in finding some of those other Autograph albums. They're probably not at the top of my wish list, but if I ever happen to come across them someday, definitely something I would be interested in picking up here. But yeah, pretty decent album right here. Autograph, Sign In Please. So that covers the A's. Now, I did go through my vinyl collection, which is not as big as my CD collection, and I found two bands that I have on vinyl that I do not have a CD of. That is April Wine and The Nature of the Beast. It's the only April Wine that I have. Found this at Goodwill, so for $1, you really can't pass that up. And then the other one that I have is Asia, and I also have another Asia album here. I'm not sure which number it is. Well, where'd it go? This one. That's the other Asia album I got. I found this one in an antique store for like $3, and this one was $5 at a record store somewhere. So had to pick it up for that. I like that first Asia album. It's a pretty good album. So those are the A's in my collection. Let me know what all A bands do you guys have that I don't have? What are your thoughts on any of these bands? Let me know in the comments. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and I'll catch you next time.